We have Weather Painter for you today. That's something I haven't seen in a very long time. We have more Silenforces and an entire, and I mean an entire pool of interesting pendulum decks, including Magispectors. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. You know, it is so nice to actually see that we've kind of come full circle here in the world of Weather Painters, just to kind of explore from what we could for OCG Thursday today. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really think that people were still trying to play Weather anything, because the deck is incredibly slow. The biggest things that always gave this deck any sort of fighting chance was, you know, you could initially see the floodgate or something to detour your opponent. You know, Skill Drain was, you know, by far one of the most classic examples of the dirty things that you could do playing this deck. And you kind of look around now and you're like, Skill Drain's 1-1 in the OCG. You know, you can't really rivalry lock your opponent. I mean, they're on 1/1s here for this. All right, like, oof. And I mean, at most, I mean, you're seeing Dimensional Fissure here acting as a 2-of. I mean, to be fair, we did get the weather forecast, which did massively help out this deck by getting, you know, the ability to actually see its link monsters. Like, let's call it what it is at this point in time. Like, the link monsters were always one of the slowest things that Weather Painter was known for. Alright, so the game plan hasn't really changed. You're still going to be rolling said floodgates to detour your opponent, and then you're going to be using your Weather Painter monsters. Actually, very cool to see that Rain is getting some love in here. And then you're going to be using these, obviously, with the additional effects off of these, to be able to eventually toggle up into this side of your deck and then kind of do your thing. And of course, for 150% cheese, you can technically Starlight Road your opponent and actually special summon the Stardust Dragon. I actually do wonder how many times that play was successful, because that is the OG good stuff. Man, this deck checks all of the marks for the really cool ideas that you can bring to the table. Alright, next up here, we have Silenforces. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge fan of this deck. I've loved the ideas that you could kind of bring to the table here and be able to do. I see that we are playing the little Nadir Servant package in here. Now, what's very, very, very nice about this is, who needs Ecclesia when you can just go toggle for Maximus here and you're kind of good to go. I mean, we're maxing all these ratios I like. Double Saravis is fine. I did like triple copies of Skull Guardian, but I think the 2 does work out. We're not bulking down on what I would say are really any of the dead cards in terms of, you know, this side of the deck. Like, this is all fine. The Nadir Servant package does work out pretty well, actually, being able to drop one of these 2 cards, you know, depending on whatever situation you need. Or, you know, you can drop the Amp Cologne, go toggle for the Schism, and then you're basically rolling a floodgate against your opponent because it's Winda. Honestly, Skull Guardian backed with Novox with this might actually be a very deadly combination. Especially, you know, if your meta can't handle this, you're probably going to go into an extremely good winning position. But I like the ratios on this. The only real things, I mean, you're going to have to find some sort of space for are probably, you know, cutting out this good card. But you should have plenty of other hand traps. I mean, obviously you could very easily play the Droll and Lockbirds, cutting this out, and then the build is 100% transitional bull over. Alright, actually, I am probably going to give this a shot, because this list looks so straightforward, so good. Interesting. I like this a lot. Maybe 2 of this, but I think for the grind game, that's fine. Hey, I see that we are... Okay, so we are playing a... This is Electromite. Good stuff. So first of all, because the OCG does have Electromite, and they have Bestower of Flames, so many people have been trying to find the most optimal, interesting way to kind of bring this package together. And hi, Dia Bellstar. How are you? Technically, you can Snake Eyes into Bismugear. And is that going to be a highly consistent method? It looks like it worked out. I think that's kind of crazy to say, that we were able to round out so easily here what looks like such a garbage deck building and work out. Oh my gosh, we can actually make Vanisher in here. This is just pendulum good stuff with a splash of, hey, you want to use the Snake Eyes package to get into this? I love the fact that we're playing the Clearwing Crystal Dragon with the Baron. And then, of course, you can make this to get your free revive. Wow. There is just so much going on here that it all kind of comes together. It'd be kind of cool to actually, maybe see Metalfoes as an actual functioning pendulum deck again. But maybe someday in the TCG. What else we got back here? We have Bamboku and friends. This deck, I know that we still don't have Kieran, and Kieran was the thing that helped this deck out so much. All right, like it is the thing that pendulums feel like they need. Well, this build kind of having to rely on Majesty Pegasus to kind of be the thing that's going to attempt to get the job done for you. Now, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this thing is not going to be doing as much as you really want it to here. I also see that we are playing Pot of Extravagance in this deck, which a few people might be like, really? Like, you're going to risk your extra deck? Well, I mean, the biggest things you care about here are New Way here and Magispector Drago. Like, that's kind of it, actually. So you're kind of able just to not really care all that much. Like, the Extrav's entire purpose is, I mean, you're going to be searching anyway, so you're just going to be pulling out, the dead weight out of the extra deck and then moving on along. I also see post-side decking, we are actually playing one copy of Magispector Storm. Not a lot of people really ever played this card, so I think that's a cute little addition that you're kind of seeing to the little pool of things here. But definitely for Magispectors, this is a good showcase of the ideas, and it actually looks incredibly good on paper. Now, we're going to shift gears to another list. Yay! Now, you're going to notice a couple of interesting things here in terms of differences. Yes, we are playing Ignis, Phoenix, and the Dynamite Power Load here, which we're going to be extending out our package of, pendulum cards to make sure that, we can kind of get some additional lines of power kind of flowing for the deck. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That does work out. I also see that this build, hi Secret Village, how are you? And I also see that we are main decking the Magispector Storm. Once again, I mean, whether or not you choose to side it or main it kind of comes down to you, but I will say that the other build that we had before this one definitely feels like it was the more competitively designed build. But I mean, once again, the OCG has so many weird one-ofs, like Nobleman of Crossout, that because you have to play that, you do kind of suffer with your other hand drafts, because this deck is going to lose to a Nibiru. Like, also, we're not playing Pot of Extravagance, so you're not going to see that massive flow through of, kind of free chicken nuggies that you would kind of want to see for this deck. But overall, you have two different versions of the deck to kind of give you ideas on where to go. I think that's a pretty good starting point for Magispector. In our last list here, I love Zodiac. Zodiac has been such a fun concept to me. Like, this deck's entire purpose, one card Zeusing your opponent, being able to blow off multiple materials is kind of insane. But the thing that has kind of added into the pool of things here is the fact that they've been moving more towards the Horus package, because the Horus package ensures that you can actually hard make Photon Lord for an additional negate. And it also means that, you can clear off an opponent's field, you can call back the squad of friends here, or, maybe you can just end on a board clear and then go down this line here, have Hoppy next to you so you can get some recurable assets going. It really just depends. Obviously, the OCG still has Armored Xyz, which I have no idea why we still don't actually have this card, but we're going to have to wait till next year to finally get this. But looking at how everything is going with this deck, this is by far probably one of the better versions of ideas, because I've seen a lot of people trying out the Zodiac package with this in the OCG. It's just nothing really has been too crazily successful, but we're also playing this. well, you know, Ecclesia with Fleur de Lis, still really good. So what do you guys think about this? Please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.